Imagine these pieces of you out there as well as in here, gathering them up as pieces of a puzzle, putting them back together and becoming whole. Hello, divine souls, and welcome to Mystic Temple Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. All right, let's get popping. So, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, and we had to take a little bit of a break to give you guys some meditations, give you guys some light code activations, and a whole lot of reminding you guys of a few things because we are headed into volume 2, okay? And so, in order to prepare you for that, we needed to give you some time to integrate everything. I know I've been giving you guys, dropping so many gems on you guys, and just giving you so much knowledge and thought-provoking content. So, wanted to make sure you had that time. But we are back. All right. So we're going to jump in to today's divinity session, and we are going to jump right into the passage today from the Book of Rashida, and it is as follows: Push beyond this veil to see the truth of yourselves. You must recall who you are. Bring everything back into existence. Recall your energy signature that has been lost within the cosmic flood. The records are inside of you. A piece of the missing puzzle you didn't realize was there to be solved. Open your eyes to see the truth and never be blinded again. Okay, so this passage is a slightly more straightforward. There's still layers and layers of meaning, but let's dive into it. So the first sentence talks about pushing past the veil so that you can see your true selves. Now, in previous divinity sessions, we have talked about the veil, and that veil being this illusionary world that we're living in, and the veil that separates us and keeps us contained in this physical plane. In kind of the matrix, basically. The veil is the matrix. We're going to just simplify that real quick. The veil is the matrix, right? That's what we have been referring to the veil thus far. But today, in this particular passage, it is also referring to that veil, but more so getting more into detail about the veil within ourselves. Okay, what is the veil within ourselves? First of all, what is a veil? A veil is something that keeps something hidden, something that keeps something covered, right? Why would we need to push past a veil in order to see our true selves? Because there's so many things that we allow to go on inside of us that stop us from being able to see who we truly are, being able to experience who we truly are. That's the key word, is experience. Because when we experience ourselves, we experience greatness, we experience divinity, we experience brilliance, okay? Because this is our power. But the veils that keep us down, the veils that keep us from being able to see those things, are the things that keep us distracted in life. Materialism, our ego, such as trauma influenced perspectives that we may have. And when I say trauma influences, because sometimes we have a viewpoint of a situation. Someone says something to us, and we have a particular reaction immediately, right? And that a lot of times, especially when it's a negative reaction, and we're taking something personally that someone said or did or what have you, or maybe we're completely misunderstanding, which a lot of times happens. We're completely misunderstanding the entire situation. But in our mind, in our reality, we're projecting this particular reality. One, because that may be our limiting belief and expectations of that particular situation or that person, or it could also be simply a trauma response. Okay, trauma influence. This is what I'm talking about, trauma influence perspective. So you may see something that is happening or is happening with you, right? Not to you, but with you, because we're an active participant in our reality. So when something is happening with you, you may start projecting that negativity on that. You may start assuming and start taking offense to what this person says. Again, that is trauma influenced. Okay. And so these are also veils that stop us from seeing our true selves, because while we are focused over here, blaming this person and pointing at this person, feeling depressed, feeling betrayed, feeling picked on, or whatever it is that we're feeling in that particular situation, what ends up happening is we are so focused outside of ourselves that we forget what's going on inside of ourselves. Not and sometimes we don't even forget it. Sometimes we're just simply unable to see it. And some of you who have started to elevate, you may be able to, you may know these things, right? You may be aware of these things. You have come into some sense of remembrance. But even within that sense of remembrance, sometimes we cannot see what's going on when we have too many veils inside of us, too many things that are blocking that sight. And so this passage is really talking about pushing past those veils. Okay, pushing past those limiting beliefs, pushing past those incorrect or negatively influenced perspectives that we have on the world around us. And so your next question is probably, well, how do we push past these veils, right? Okay, these veils are inside of us. We're aware of that. How do we push past them? Well, one way to push past them is questioning everything within yourself, questioning your beliefs, questioning. We've talked about this in previous divinity sessions, really asking the right questions, asking why, who, what, why, where, and how. Asking the questions inside of you, even regarding your own beliefs. And that's the most important thing, is asking questions to yourself regarding your own beliefs. Because a lot of times we hold such strong negative and limiting beliefs. We make those beliefs a part of our identity so strongly that we don't understand or even know how to begin to separate them. So the first step is to start asking questions. Where did that belief come from? Why do I believe this? And is this belief actually true? Let me actually step outside of the situation. Let me step outside of myself and look at it objectively and say, is this true? When you make sweeping statements about people, is this true? Usually it's not true. Okay, we can't paint people with a broad brush. Okay, when you categorize people and say these people are like this, these kind of people are like this, it's not true. So I'm sure at home you realize that you make those assumptions a lot of times, and this is a judgment that is based on a negative life perspective, a negative world perspective, a negative world view. And so when you have those types of things, again, beliefs inside of yourself too, not really fully understanding who you are, not understanding your power, you make assumptions about what you can and can't do, even when you're consciously telling yourself, yes, I can do it. Yes, I know there's nothing I can't do. You still end up internally saying no to certain things, saying when someone says, oh, how about you reach this level, and internally you have a little devil on your shoulder that's saying no. No, I can't do that. That's a limiting belief. These are veils inside of yourself that are preventing you from seeing who you truly are. But on a grander scale and on a deeper, more spiritual scale, when you have these types of veils inside of you that are hiding your true power, hiding who you really actually are, you're not able to fully ascend. You're not able to raise those levels of consciousness as long as you stay anchored in those lower levels. Okay, where's my gong? Bam, message. For those of you who used to watch Mindful Mornings, you know what that's from. All right. That's a show I used to have, for those of you who don't know. Anyway, so so yeah, so my point is that you want to make sure that you're focused inward, and we talk about that a lot. And this is why the book of Rashida talks about that so much, about going inward, and there's it's talking about your power so much, because this is necessary. And for those of you who watched the last divinity session where we did the light code activation, if you didn't watch that, if you missed that, go back to that, the light code activation, chef's kiss. Okay. Not to be, but to the to the to the cosmic collective consciousness, because that was absolutely amazing. I've been getting so much great feedback from people who've had just out of body experiences, amazing awakenings from that meditation. And so those light codes that you're awakening in that meditation, super, super important to starting to break these veils, to starting to lift these veils, to lifting them. I mean, a lot of people have so many things that were lifted just in that meditation. So I want to also encourage you that you can go back and watch that at any time. So, this on Mystic Circle TV, which is on, you can get it on your actual TV, uh, either if you have a Roku device or Roku TV, or a Samsung Smart TV, you can get it on the TV there. Through the Mystic Circle TV app. You can also get the Mystic Circle TV app on your phone, and then we're also on YouTube. So, and you can get that everywhere. So, point is, there's no excuse. You're watching this now on one of those platforms, and so you can easily watch that at any time. And so, I want to make sure that you think to go back to that, and the other meditations that we've done as well, because everything is informed and guided and channeled by the cosmic collective consciousness. So one thing that we have done throughout the course of all of these sessions that we've done so far, all of the divinity sessions and going through these passages from the book of Rashida, is we have started to awaken your mind. We have started to let you understand and let you know about your power inside and let you feel that power. And definitely, if you've been in the Facebook group and been in our open circle, the lives that I do every month, we're always doing exercises to help open you up. If you're not there, join the Facebook group. But we've been doing all of this so far, okay? So now that you should be open, and if you're just jumping in, that's okay. You can catch up, go back. I suggest that you go back to the beginning and watch it straight through. This way you can go on the journey with us. But so for those of you who we've already been going through all of these things, now's the time to really start to activate. Now that we have started to push away these negative thoughts, these negative blockages, these things inside of ourselves, and started to awaken the knowledge of your might. Okay. Now that we've started to do this, now that we've done this, it is now time to awaken those light codes inside of you. It is time to awaken the power inside of you so that you can begin to ascend. This is what we're here for. This is what Mystic Temple is all about. This is what the Book of Rashida is all about, helping you ascend. Because remember, we are not singular in this experience. So as you ascend, we all ascend. As I ascend, we all ascend. And as we all ascend together, the world ascends. Okay? So this is really, really important. So again, getting back to pushing beyond the veils. How do we push beyond those veils? Again, everything I just said, but in addition to that, pushing past your comfort zones. Okay, let's not forget about your comfort zones. I talk about comfort zones a lot. I'm not sure if I talked about that in one of these divinity sessions yet, but we're going to talk about it now. Okay, so comfort zones, whenever you are in a comfort zone, this is a negative space. You don't want to be in a comfort zone, okay? Comfort is, yes, it's good, it's cozy, it feels good and everything, but it does not help you grow. You're being in a comfort zone makes you complacent, and complacency is the opposite of growth. Okay. So I need you to understand that. You need to grow. That's what we are here to do. We are here to grow. And yes, there are times where we plateau, and we're supposed to be plateauing because that may be a time of rest. So we're not always like this. We're usually like this a little bit. Then sometimes we're like this, right? And that's okay. That's a journey. Okay. A journey does not always go on a straight path. Sometimes those are winding roads. Sometimes the road goes up. Sometimes it goes down a little bit. But as long as overall we are rising and we are going up, then we are headed in the right direction. So yeah, if you find yourself in a comfort zone right now, I need you to figure out how to get out of that comfort zone. And how you get out of that comfort zone is going to depend on what kind of comfort zone you're in. Usually when we're in a comfort zone, it's because of fear that's preventing us from getting out. And by the way, you'll know when it's time to get out of that comfort zone, because sometimes, like I said, we may be plateauing and we may feel like we're in a little bit of a comfort zone for a little bit, but we also feel deep within that, you know what? I'm supposed to be here. This is a time for rest, right? Because times of rest are just as important as time for action. Why? Because when you have rest, those times of action can be more powerful. If you're just going and going and going, you're starting to lose steam. So you're not really doing much when you're after doing here. This is why rest is equally as important as action. So we have to have that balance, that duality, that yin and yang in our lives, okay? So you will notice when it's time to get out of that comfort zone. When it's time to get out of that comfort zone, you will start to feel like I'm supposed to be doing something and not out of guilt. Okay. Let me talk about that for a second, because in healing a lot of people and guiding people and working with a lot of people every day, I hear this a lot where people feel like, okay, I'm so busy doing this. Especially people who are super, super goal oriented. So you've been going and going and going, right? And now you're in a period of time where you're supposed to be resting, and maybe something is happening that's forcing you to rest because you weren't paying attention. Okay, suffering's a choice. Go back to that episode. All right. So when you are in that plateau and you feel the need to be in that plateau, sometimes people feel guilty about not being, not being active all the time. So that's not what I'm referring to when I'm saying that you'll know when it's time to get out of that comfort zone. You have to, again, asking questions is everything. If you are feeling like uneasy being in this kind of this plateau, okay, then you need to look inside and say, is this because I'm feeling guilty for being in this plateau, or is it because My spirit is really saying, okay, time to move, time to move. Okay, if the answer is that your spirit is saying time to move, then it's time to move. You always have to follow your spirit. Always follow your spirit. It will never, ever lead you wrong. Okay, your spirit will always lead you in the right direction at the right time, at the divine time. And when you stay in that comfort zone for too long, guess what happens? You create more veils, you create more blockages. There's a whole lot of bad things that start to happen. And then something will happen to push you out of that comfort zone. And it's usually not something good because we respond best to suffering. We talked about that before, and that's in a previous passage of the book of Rashida, how suffering is a choice and suffering is caused by not listening internally. And like I said earlier, if you listen to your spirit, you'll never be led wrong and you will suffer much less in life. But if you don't listen, you will suffer a lot. And it's because that's the only way to get you to pay attention when you're stubborn. You got to smack you in the face. That's the only way to get your attention, right? Because if you're too comfortable, too complacent, and you're just like, okay, no, I don't want to get out. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like going down that road. I don't feel like starting this new thing. I don't feel like stepping into my purpose. I don't feel like doing any of that because I'm comfortable right now. You're creating veils. You're unable to see your true self. You're unable to experience your true self because you're holding yourself back. And that's why this passage says to recall your energy back into existence. Okay? To bring that energy back into existence and recall that energy signature. Recalling that energy signature that's been lost in the cosmic flood. And this is why we have to come back into remembrance of who we are. And this is why the book of Rashida talks about this so much, is awakening those things. And also why the Cosmic Collective Consciousness had us do the light code activation last week. Because as we activate these codes, we start to activate those records inside of us. We start to activate our true sense of power, the remembrance of who we are. All of those records. And the passage says the records are inside of you, and they've always been inside of us. And so it's really important that we awaken those codes. And awakening is the first step to our spiritual evolution. So again, paying attention to your life, paying attention to your inner world so that you can then really push past those veils and awaken these records inside of you. Ask yourself the question, what have you been allowing to take you away from your true essence? What distractions do you have in your life right now? What internal distractions do you have as well? What lies are you telling yourself? What veils are you creating for yourself inside that's not allowing you to see your true self, not allowing you to connect with your true self? Think about that. And I want you to journal that, okay? Think about that. And whatever that answer is, it's time to take action on those things. It's time to reject those things and start to work on yourself. Start to really dive deeper and get rid of those things so that you can then ascend, so that you can then begin to rise. You can begin to come back into remembrance of who you are and back into connection of your essence. And also, this is also about soul retrieval. And soul retrieval is a retrieval of parts of your soul from the ether and things that have been lost, okay? Parts of your essence, part of your energy signature. And by the way, an energy signature, for those of you who don't know, an energy signature is your unique vibration, what makes you you, okay? The also part of that energy signature is your divine essence that is inside of you. And so sometimes as we go through things in life and as we also travel from lifetime to lifetime, there are pieces of that essence that get lost. And calling those things back into you, calling those things back into you, calling those things back inside of you. Okay? Meaning that you're reactivating those things that have gone dormant inside of you. Super, super important. And this allows you, this passage talks about puzzle pieces. Imagine these pieces of you out there as well as in here, gathering them up as pieces of a puzzle, putting them back together and becoming whole. That's what this passage is talking about. You becoming whole again in your divine essence. And when it says see the truth and you will never be blinded again, because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. So when you really, really start to see the truth and you really start to call these things back inside of yourself, making yourself whole, bringing those puzzle pieces together, and you begin to really, really, truly awaken, not just consciously, but awaken within. When you start to truly awaken and you see this truth within yourself, it can't be unseen. So never be blinded again. But even though you can't unsee the truth, You can willfully bring yourself back into illusion. Let's talk about that for a second. You can willfully bring yourself back into illusion. And this is because of your desire not to deal with the truth, your desire not to face the truth, your desire not to get off your butt and do something with your life and your power. This brings you back into complacency and brings you back into illusion. But you're not going to let that happen, okay? As long as you stick with Mystic Temple, okay? We will not let that happen. We are going to stay awakened. We are going to stay unveiled and continue to rise, and that's what we're here for. So what I want you to walk away with is the remembrance and the acknowledgement of who you are, but also what you need to do to stay in that remembrance and to continue to awaken that remembrance and really start to activate those records that are already inside of you, making sure that they stay activated and that you do not willfully put them back under the rug, put them back under the veil. And again, asking yourself questions, starting to question your own beliefs and journaling those things. Journaling is such a powerful exercise. It's simple yet powerful, just like meditation. Simple yet extremely powerful. Journaling is a super powerful exercise because you start to when you start to journal, you start to see things, you start to uh, access different parts of your brain that you normally wouldn't be able to access because of your distractions and everything else that you're doing. But when you sit down in a focused state and you start journaling, so many truths start to come out, and you will surprise yourself. If you're not used to journaling, you will surprise yourself on the things that come out. And you're like, oh, did I just write that? So it's important that you journal these things, especially when you are doing a lot of self-discovery. And self-discovery at this stage is very, very important. Discovering the truths that are inside of you, that are hidden, yet waiting to be discovered. And I also want to take this time to remind you of the chant that we came up with. I don't remember what divinity session that was, but the chant in the divine language that is Ema Breel. Okay? And I'm going to do that chant with you really quick because this chant reminds you of your power, reminds you of your inner light, reminds you and starts to awaken. It doesn't just remind you, but it starts to awaken that energy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that chant really quick together and just repeat after me in the way that I'm doing it. Emabriel. 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 And just sit in that for a moment, and you can feel the energy moving through your body, or else at least you should. If you can't feel it, you got to remove your blockages. But for those of you who have really been on your energy work and making sure that you have a clean energy, you should have definitely felt that energy. And so I also want to remind you all, and some of you may not know, because I don't know at what point you're jumping in on this journey with us, but on YouTube, there is a video. I will link it here, but there is a video on YouTube that is this chant. It's about 10 hours worth, I believe, or maybe more, 10 hours worth of this chant. The chant is done in a slightly different way. It has music behind it and everything, but it is a great meditation to do. Just stare at the screen and just you will feel all the difference. And I've been getting a lot of great feedback from that as well. I posted that a few months ago, I believe. But if you go to the YouTube channel, Mystic Temple 1111, then you will see it there. And so I would suggest that you guys go back and watch that as many times as you want as well, because it's really, really good for your energy system and really good for your spirit and your soul, your mind, body, and soul. You feel that energy. So I've been giving you guys tons and tons of resources. I want to make sure that you guys are remembering all these resources that I'm giving you because they're really important to this journey. And I'm making sure that I'm giving you resources instead of just simply talking at you and telling you what you should be doing. I want to help you get there. So the resources that I'm putting out in the Facebook group, as well as on YouTube, make sure, as well as in Mystic University, make sure that you're taking advantage of those things so that you can really go on this journey, really be on this journey. Don't just watch. I need you to act and really integrate them, because if you don't integrate them, what do I always say? Knowledge without action is pointless, right? What's the point of having knowledge if we're not doing anything with it? So make sure that you're doing something with this knowledge that I'm giving you, the motivation, the inspiration, and the words of wisdom that come through me from the Book of Rashida and through the Cosmic Collective Consciousness. I want you to really be incorporating those into your daily life. I need you to really be incorporating those into your energy system. I need you to really integrate those, because this is how you will rise. The recipe is right here. All you have to do is do your part. All right. So with that being said, I'm now going to speak life, love, and activation and remembrance into all of you at home using the divine language. Okay. Emabriel. Mabriel vectusos, bicosa, bicosa, bicosa vectusos, bicosa destu, bicosa destu, bicosa destu vectusos, bicosa destu vectusos, bicosa, calisi, bicosa, calisi, e vectusos, eshna popoeshnasha, briel, 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 shishenbriel, 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 bicosa, calisi, destu, and hopefully you all felt that. And now I will end in a prayer in the divine language, which essentially means peace be unto you. Zor kumti. And I'll see you next time.
Come my spark in the dark, so cold. Strength rising up, no longer control. Each step I'm breaking the mold. Got a heart of fire, won't be sold. Mirror shows a face so strong. Ripples from the past, they got it wrong. Chains fall down, I sing my song. Through the battles I belong. Reclaiming power is what I do. No more shadows, I see it through. I'm a fighter, a dreamer too. Don't watch out, I'm brand new. Shattered pieces form a whole. From the ashes I take